My baseball coach at USC loved to say, with a proven process comes predictable results. Now think about anything you've done successfully in life and been able to repeat with ease. Perhaps it's your golf swing or growing your business. But anything you've done well, you've created a process. At White Collar Advice, our proven process has produced predictable results since 2008 when I got into this business. This process of ours won't just ensure that you get accepted into the residential drug abuse program, but that you actually complete the program. After all, as many as 50% of white-collar defendants in some prisons quit or get thrown out of the program or are forced to retake one of the 3 phases. So if you have interest in succeeding through this program and can visualize and are willing to work towards an outcome that will get you home up to 18 months sooner, let my team and I at White Collar Advice prepare and educate you on the coveted residential drug abuse program. Recently I received a call from Alice. Her husband John, a former doctor, is serving 60 months in prison for insurance fraud. Now shortly before Alice called me, she said she had received a call from John and received some terrible and distressing news. Despite trying, John had finally and officially been told that he was denied access into the residential drug abuse program. As a result, he would serve an extra year in prison. Apparently, I learned from Alice that upon his surrender, John finally learned about the residential drug abuse program. From there, of course, he took aggressive steps, including retaining a consultant from the inside to try to get in. So wanting to learn more about their case, knowing that we can learn from failure as much as success, and with Alice's permission to interview her, I'm going to share this story with all of you. Now, through my interview, I learned that John, in his pre-sentence investigation, failed to disclose that he had been a drinker for many years. He drank before his arrest as well. He even smoked marijuana. It didn't disclose any of it. As is the case with so many white-collar offenders, John was afraid and felt that opening up about his substance and alcohol use would make him appear unfavorably before the court, the prosecutor, the judge, all of the stakeholders. He simply believed that had he opened up about it, it would lead to further complications. And also, I learned, he was just too embarrassed to talk about it. He had put his family through enough. He was going to prison. Now he had to talk about his substance abuse. It was just too much to bear. He just chose to stay quiet. And as I just mentioned, upon his surrender, he learned about RDAP. And he learned that had he honestly disclosed his issues and collected the proper evidence, he would have qualified, and based on the length of his sentence, he would have been released from prison 18 months early. John begged the drug program abuse coordinator to let him in. He tried to blame his lawyer for not properly preparing him. He got angry and complained that others in the prison were getting in at his expense and they didn't even need the program. Then he said his sentence was too long to begin with. And perhaps worst of all, his lack of evidence and his inability to explain his substance abuse problem in a logical, coherent manner led the program coordinator to both deny him and threaten to send him to the hole if he didn't get out of his office. Alice told me that he felt more heartbroken than ever and that he was spending his days in prison, but not preparing for a law-abiding, successful life upon release, but rather living in regret about how poorly he prepared for prison, including RDAP. Like so many of us trapped in the criminal justice system, what did he want? He wanted a do-over. Clearly, John didn't take the correct approach. And through my calls with Alice, I learned that while he finally admitted to his family and his kids and others, while he finally talked about his substance abuse, his inability to set the record straight and simply give in to a consultant who told them that he could solve all of their problems without any effort or collaborative plan simply made matters worse. Now, John and Alice, through this consultant, gave in, as I just mentioned, to the buzzwords. The guarantee, this guy said, or I used to work with the BOP. I know people who work with the BOP. He insinuated that if they pay his fee, he'll find a doctor who can create a letter that said he had substance abuse issues prior to his surrender. None of that is rooted in ethics, transparency, accountability. None of the RDAP principles, none of the core precepts the RDAP program teaches. John and Alice, unfortunately, did not do their due diligence, continuing to live in regret. Now, back to John for a moment. Before running to the substance abuse counselor, he should have regrouped. So while I and all of you know that he was scared or embarrassed to open up about his problem, his inability to explain it and sell it to the program coordinator cost him dearly. Again, our solution on white collar advice is transparency. Yes, it's possible to get accepted into RDAP, even if you were too scared or embarrassed to talk about it in the PSR interview. You can get in if you fail to disclose it. It's possible, but not without a plan. Look, at White Collar Advice, what we'll do is help you collect the necessary evidence to ensure that everything is in order. What does that evidence include? Well, that evidence could include letters from a doctor, a mental health professional, or a drug abuse treatment provider. If you don't have one, we can send you referrals. Your evidence should include a narrative that we will collaborate on to properly explain your whole history of substance abuse or alcohol. The evidence we help you compile will document your history of abuse. We will write out and show the patterns of your problems. We will explain how you built up a tolerance, and if necessary, write how requiring heavy doses or you needed heavy doses to achieve the same daily result. We'll write and teach you to talk about the withdrawal symptoms, share how substance abuse has influenced your daily activities and your daily responsibilities. And of course, we will share how your abuse contributed to your problems with the law, and we do so. And we lay it out in a timeline to prove easily that your problems existed 12 months before your arrest or indictment. And of course, we reiterate how we believe it contributed to your criminal conduct. If all of you follow this methodical, transparent approach, you'll succeed. Alice asked that I share this story with you, that you can profit from his losses and take a more aggressive and appropriate course of action. Let me get back into the reality of this program. Most who want this program don't get in, around 90% from my estimation. Too many presume it's a done deal. They can just get it when they get to the program, and hey, if the judge recommends it, they're going to get in. Never forget, a judge's recommendation is only that, a recommendation. To succeed, you have to work. You have to work to collect the appropriate evidence and be able to articulate your problems rationally and with ease. Wishing or hoping is not a strategy that we embrace at White Collar Advice. If you do, we are not for you. And while others might simply sell the time off, I have an ethical obligation to disclose the reality. For example, I mentioned earlier that I was a baseball player at USC. At SC, not every player on my team played 4 years. A lot of them didn't even graduate. It's really no different with the substance abuse program. Getting in is but one step. Each week I get letters from clients telling me about the changes to the program. In fact, the topic is so sensitive, they won't even share details through email. Last week, 2 separate clients told me from 2 different prisons that information online about RDAP from only 2 weeks ago is outdated and wrong. For example, a client recently wrote me, 22 people started the drug program in December. Of the 22, only 5 will graduate on time, 10 have been set back, 5 have been kicked out of the program, and 7 have quit. All these letters are only about RDAP. Did you hear that? The program's changing. The BOP takes a while to catch on, but they're not stupid. They recognize how many people want this program and how many are unprepared or truly need it. Our process will ensure you just don't get kicked out of the program, that you don't quit or have to retake phases, but that you complete it properly and you gain some benefit from it. More than 90% of my clients find huge value in this program. To succeed, we have to go through the program structure, the rules and regulations, the course materials, and of course the written and unwritten rules of this program. Together with me and my consultants, we'll make sure that every question is covered, all angles are covered, and of course we'll review all of the disadvantages of this program. If you believe this program is right for everyone, or if someone tells you that it is, they're misleading you. You don't get 18 months off for free, you have to consider it. Let's get into finances and to the math. I estimate that saving 1 year out of jail equates to at least $100,000. Let me do the math. Living well in prison can cost at least $400 a month. So if you take $400 a month times the 18 months off that you can receive if you can complete the program, that's around 10 grand. But more than the 10,000, you'll be home earning an income. And perhaps, I think most importantly, you'll be with your family and not standing for count from the inside of a federal prison. Look, if I were to cover everything about RDAP in this video, I'd be here for weeks, days, and months. I can't cover it all in this short video. This is just a start, but I am committed to doing more. And to that end, I'm going to film a video every Monday in 2016 covering all of these new and changing RDAP topics that include, again, the rules of RDAP, TDAP, a typical day in the program, the self-help and small group modules. I'll cover the 3 phases of RDAP, case studies, those who have succeeded and failed. I'll get into the program structure, the questions I get asked most frequently. I'm pulling back all the curtains and giving it to you, but for now, until then, you have got to take action, and there are several ways you can do that. To begin, you can text the word Socrates to 44222 to immediately get access to our free and updated course on RDAP. Please do your due diligence. Avoid the misinformation online and strategies others use to mislead and scare you. Those strategies could include losing good time if you get in trouble, getting transferred, or having to take reportions of the program. So vet me, Google me, and assess the record I've built since surrendering to prison. I loathe the me marketing, talking about me and my successes. It's not me, but I have got to prove why I'm qualified, and a claim without evidence and simply that, a claim. If you'd like to talk to clients to learn who has had success and why, I'll happily connect you with them. So again, go take action. Learn from John and avoid the consequences that come with a lack of planning. Serving a shorter prison term is in your grasp. It's right in front of you. Your outcome doesn't have to mirror so many who have failed to embrace the strategies we teach. Be different, take action, and you will reap the rewards. So schedule a call now and visit whitecollaradvice.com to get a free copy of our lesson plan on RDAP, or again, text the word Socrates to 44222 to get our free course on RDAP and other RDAP resources to help ensure you just don't get into the program, but you complete the program and get home more quickly. Thank you for your time. Certainly subscribe to this channel and be on the lookout for more of our weekly videos on the residential drug abuse program. Thank you for your time and work hard.